Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is what my UK tropical garden looks like in November. Let's get straight into the video. Well, we've come full circle with these monthly updates. The first one I made last year was in November, so do have a look at that to see what a year's growth has been like in the garden. But I will just share with you a little bit of what the garden's looking like after a really wet and cold and miserable last couple of months. We have still got some colour in the garden, would you believe, but a lot of it is clearly past its best and on its way headed towards winter. So first thing to mention is my Musa Basjoo bananas. I've cut back a lot of the leaves. There's a lot of detritus on the decking up there because I've been cutting these back. Of course, we've just had Storm Kieran, and yeah, I just thought I'd cut back some of the lower hanging leaves just to give it a bit of a chance not to be blown over, and don't want to damage the pseudo stem. I will be wrapping those soon, but I'm going to wait for the first frost. My canna's still going. You can see there's a Tetrapanax still pushing out new leaves under there, looking okay. I mean, I think lowest temperature has probably been about 3 degrees, so things are not too bad. First frost last year I think was December, so we'll see where we go. This is the cordyline that got spear pull in December. You can see down there, if I zoom in down there, you can see sort of here the dead fronds where it did have some dieback, and it's put on a lot of growth since then. I'll just go around to show you the Musa Basjoo. So these were planted as tiny plug plants 3 years ago. See, that's what we've got at the minute. Quite a substantial set of roots and lots of offshoots there. So I will be protecting those. Would like to maintain the height on these things. I mean, this is the biggest one. It's pretty substantial. It would be a shame to lose the height, so I'll be wrapping those again. What else? The Rebecca's have all died off for the most part. I mean, lots of seeds there, but I don't need any more Rebecca. I've got plenty in the garden. There's still a few in flower. And the nasturtiums are still going. They're still flowering. But yeah, it's looking tatty. Persicaria red dragon is still in flower. Verbena is still hanging on. So there's still, still life. There have been a few passion flowers recently. None that I can see at the minute on there, but it's still looking okay. So over here by the hammock is my rather sad looking Paulownia tomentosa. That's just bitten the bullet in the last couple of days. So this was last year's growth. This is the main bit of growth that came out for the side shoot here. This is the main growth of this year, and we'll see what happens next year. It did get crowded out by this Fargesia bamboo this year, so I've had to tie this back and trim it down to give it a bit of space. But I've got my Trachycarpus gigantea there. Don't know where else to put it, but we'll see how that goes. The Leonotis is still in flower. Still doing okay. I don't know if anyone's grown these before. Let me know. Should I just let them self-seed? There's plenty of seeds on there. Do they self-seed? Should I collect the seeds and sow them under glass in spring? Do let me know. Yeah, that's a hammock area. Coming around these side central beds now. This is my what's left of my amaranthus. I'm just going to leave these to self-seed. Maybe I'll collect a few, but I kind of do like just leaving them to do what they do. In the past, I've been quite successful in getting these to self-seed around the garden, so we'll see where they go. Echinaceas are looking good. These have taken so long to flower. I sowed these last March, and they've only just flowered. Achilleas, I keep cutting this back, and it keeps flowering. There's a good old Trachy. Look, that's from here to here is a season's growth. It took a while to get its roots settled into the ground, but it has shot up this year. The fronds are bigger, the stems are longer, but I'm going to leave these on. I love the natural look of the Trachy. There's one of my Fatsias in flower. Leave those on for the birds. Miscanthus giganteus. I've seen a smaller example of this in someone's garden that flowered this year. Mine hasn't flowered. Oh no flowers in. I mean, I like the colour. I like the yellow colour as it dies back and goes quite autumnal. In contrast to the Arundodanax, a lot taller, but I suppose a little bit more scrappy looking, and then more just nasturtium everywhere. This is my oldest Tetrapanax that I took all the pups off. I've left 2 in the ground. We'll see how they fare over winter. Let's move around to the other side. Just into the jungle stream. I'm really looking forward to having this. I put a few bits of mind your own business or baby's tears. Hopefully it'll cover the whole area. Then we've got the stream flowing down through that. I think it'll look pretty cool. Lovely glaucous looking euphorbia wolfenii there. There's my camera ops hidden. I always say I'll find a better place for that. Maybe I will. Maybe it'll stay there forever. Who knows? If I can be bothered. Yeah, just a quick word on the paths, really, because a few people have asked about the paths. This path I dug in. Well, both paths are from this year, creating sort of a circular walk over the bridge and back around again. Now this one's been finished with bound gravel. That one hasn't. It's just got some hardcore in there, and I will be finishing that off in spring. It's not a job I'm going to do now, but I kind of like how the colour contrasts with the green foliage and the black fences and whatnot. Let's keep looking at the plants. So hidden down here is the barrel pond. That was a project from last year. I know there's plenty of newts in there. I've got common newts, at least 10 last year, and under there is a little hibernating place I made for them. Can't remember the real name of that. There's my Gunnera tinctoria. You see it's been frosted off a little bit, and it's I've not watered it in ages. I mean, it's been wet enough really, so I've not needed to water it. But if you contrast that to my bigger Gunnera tinctoria, it's sort of collapsed. I think I'll probably build some sort of frame around it to hold the leaves more upright next year, because it does hang over the path, but that's what's left of it. And I will be cutting that back, but I'm going to wait for the first frost. I'm not too worried or precious about this, but I will make a video for anyone who's not done it before on how to overwinter these, but it's pretty straightforward. You cut the leaves off, you lay the leaves on top of the root system and the whatnot there, and it does fine. Here's my bigger cordline. This one, no problems with this one last year. I made a video about this cordline and compared it to the one over there by the bananas, and I think that this one benefits from having a little bit of overhead protection. Doesn't get hit by the frosts as hard as the one over there. Now this is the biggest Eucalyptus gunnii. You can see how big this was planted. I got it home in the car, so it fit in the car. I did top it last year. I cut the main growth point off because I don't want it to be too tall. Did the same with the other two, and I'm going to do that again in spring. Just keep cutting any vertical main growing points. I'm just going to cut back and hopefully keep it under control, but I do think it will eventually become too big for the space. I've got to rethink that. There's my biggest Fatsia. Plenty of flowers on that one. I'm hoping next year with the Fatsia that it will reach the top of the fence and eventually become sort of a canopy layer, and I cut back a lot of the growth under there. I've got a lot of nice ferns under there, but I underplanted it when it was a lot smaller and they've just been lost. So that's the plan. Eventually that will become a canopy layer, and I can underplant with some interesting ferns because this is sort of a shady area. We've got the Euphorbia mellifera there pushing its way through. We'll see how that one goes. It's put on a lot of growth actually. You see a few new growth points under there. Yeah, so hopefully that one will do really well next year and size up. Now this is a yucca, an unknown species of yucca to me, just a standard one that I got from garden centre. It died, cut it back, and it's resprouted from the base there. I'm just going to leave it and see how it does. Got a few not very big colocasia pink china. They're just going to stay in the ground. There you go. No signs of them dying off or being frosted off yet, and they'll just stay in the ground and do what they do. There's my double trunk trachea. I'd love this one day just to be absolutely huge, towering over the greenhouse. Round here, this is the remains of the huge cardoon that flowered. This was amazing. Look at that. Some little ladybirds hiding in there. I'm just going to leave this. I mean, you can see it's value for wildlife. Leaving this on, but it has started to sprout from the base already. Look, if you look there, this is next year's growth from the roots. Loads of new growth points. Into the greenhouse now, all prepared for winter. Bubble wrapped. I've got the thermostat on there. I've got the bar heater under there. I've got Homer there, and everything. So I've just put this new shelf in, and I am hoping to start moving away from plastic and putting some pots in, putting some plants in some nice pots. Underneath, where it's a bit damper, I've got tetrapanax, I've got my bananas, I've got my sonchus down there, a few bits and pieces, and yeah, all packed away for the winter. So I've just got to maintain the temperature in there, but everything's cozy. Just starting to rain now, so let's wrap this up. People will want to see what's happened with my arid bed. People tell me it won't survive the winter. I probably agree with them at some point. I'll continue to upgrade it and improve it. So one weak point that people pointed out was that it needed some side covering. Huge thank you to the subscriber who suggested this form of doing it. So I've sort of attached it onto here, and when it's not raining, I can it's difficult to do one hand. I can peel it back, roll it back, and I can put it up there. Let's do that now to have a little look. But it has just started raining, so a couple of weak points. I did a video on this recently. You can see water was getting in back there, and it was getting in from the side. So there you go. I mean, it's pretty dry. It's as dry as it can be in a damp country. But there we go. Yeah, I put a cross brace on. This was a weak part, so I've put a few more screws in there. Yeah, I'm going to get some bungee ropes and some hooks and sort of attach it, secure it more. But it survived Storm Kieran. The winds weren't too bad up here. But there we go. That as well. So that's it from November's edition of What Does My Garden Look Like at the Minute. Don't know how everyone else is feeling about this time of year, but it's always it's never the best time of year for gardeners, particularly people trying to do tropical and exotic gardens. It's really cold, it's wet and miserable, so I think at the minute I'm just making plans for next year, what I want to do to improve. You know, the lawn will eventually go. I'd like to have more planting in more of the garden. I'd like to bring it closer to the house, because if I stand here at the house, it's quite far away. I want to bring it towards the house, and the front garden. I want to do something with the front garden as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks to the people who continue to drop comments and interact and share their ideas with me. Really appreciate that. And if you enjoy it and you're not subscribed, do consider subscribing and turning notifications on. Thanks a lot, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.